Okay, we're back. We're going to test out the 35 Survivor. I apologize in my first video that we called it the Power Survivor 35. There is actually a Power Survivor 35 with a motor attached. It's more for very, very small sailboats. But this, again, is just a hand-cranked system that goes into your ditch bag. I've got it all set up. We've got both our intake line and our brine discharge going into the bucket, creating a closed loop. So everything we take in with the salt water at 32,000 parts per million, it's going to come back out minus the fresh water coming out of the tube, and so it's going to be a concentrated brine, but we want to keep it in a closed loop so the water stays at the same salinity levels. So let's just go ahead and get started with this thing, and I want to show you how easy this is, especially for the admirals. So they're usually the first ones to ask, how hard is this to do? If you notice my fingers, 2 or 3 fingers, just doing that so you can see how easy this is. Now, I'm actually running the salt water through this. Before I started the video, I did this. Now, if you look down there as well, how easy it is. Right next to the cup there is my water coming out of the tube, right here. I hope you can see that each time I pump. That's a decent amount of water. That's a whole lot more than the 06. And once again, if we're talking survival, that's what we're looking for. So I'm going to put it back into this little cup so we can get a sample. So let's run this a little bit more. Okay. Now, it's going to be hard to see, but that cup is definitely filling up with fresh water. You can keep on going for a moment. Okay, that's probably just enough right there till we get this little bit of sample. Now, if you can see the I don't know if you can tell the volume in there or not, but that's about 3 times as much water as the smaller unit will make. This is why it's rather important. So I'm going to grab my trusty TDS meter, my total dissolved solids, and we're also going to read the parts per million on this. So it's a tool that every person that owns a water maker should have on board. So let's take a see what we got. This is a calibrated system. I don't know if you can see what we're doing. Running about 485 parts per million. That's pretty good. Real good, considering how old this system is. Now that we've ran it a little bit, what I'll do is we'll try it one more time. This time we'll give it a little bit more moving around, give it a chance for the membrane to build the pressures inside. The longer you pump this, once it gets up to the proper pressures, the better quality of water it's going to put out. We're just under 500 parts per million, and that's exactly what we're looking for on any water maker. Industry standard is anything below 500 is a good water maker. Okay, let's kind of crank this up, see if we can't get a little bit better pressure on here. Stick her back in and start making some. Okay, let's try a sample of that and see what we come up. That number gets any higher or any lower. Again, our recalibrated, properly calibrated TDS meter. Bam! Oh my goodness. I don't know if you can read this, but it is 165 parts per million. You just can't get any better than that. If you can use, I don't know if I can see that up in there or not. I'm going to try. But 165 parts per million. That's a brand new membrane territory for any water maker out there. And this system has been sitting for quite a few years. The reason they sent it into us to have the test that we're doing right now. So this water maker passes my test for sure. So what we're going to do, we're going to have to pickle the system. So what I'm going to do, we're going to turn off and I'm going to take out the salt water that we're dealing with, and then we're going to run some fresh water, unchlorinated fresh water through the system for about a minute by hand. That'll flush all the salts out of the system. And once I got a good low salt content on that membrane, just all fresh water, then we're going to pickle it with a little bit of propylene glycol. That's what we want to use to pickle pretty much any water maker out there. There's a lot of storage solutions. Different manufacturers of water maker do different solutions. I prefer propylene glycol. because if you've ever felt propylene glycol, it feels like soapy dishwater fluid. This protects the O-rings, the shuttle valves, things that go back and forth, and seals in there much, much better than just pure water with a little bit of powdered pickling solution. Even water, most corrosive thing in the world. So that's what we want to do. So I want to see that we saw that it's working properly. So let me flush this out with some fresh water, and we'll show you how we're pickling this thing with the propylene glycol. Okay.